born 300 years ago tomorrow in Eisenach, Germany. He changed the way we hear the world. And on the eve of his birthday, Garrick Utley tells us the genius of Bach is constantly being rediscovered.
The music had not been heard for over a century. Its very existence was unknown. 33 preludes, short organ pieces by Bach. They had lain in a Yale University library until they were rediscovered and performed this week. Once again, Johann Sebastian Bach was offering something new to the world. But then his music has been a revelation to each new generation. In his lifetime, Bach's greatness was not recognized. He was better known as an organist than a composer. But his music combined mathematical precision with romantic feeling, which still inspires awe.
Bach had it all. His beautiful harmony, his beautiful counterpoint, the weaving of the lines, the bouncy beat.
You, as a serious musician, as a Bach scholar, how do you react to the way it has been used in the pop field, the rock field, the jazz field?
I have no objections. It's been used beautifully. It's been abused. It's not going to make us forget Bach.
Bach's universal appeal can be heard in his minuet in G major. Or as the Lover's Concerto in the 1960s. Bach has been jazzed up, switched on, and ripped off in the 20th century, but the integrity of his music has survived everything, even the Hollywood treatment in the movie Fantasia. That's one way of performing Bach's toccata in D minor. This is another. Jazz pianist George Shearing plans to perform it this way in a New York City concert honoring Bach's birthday. What are you doing with this toccata in D minor?
I am using it as a vehicle to get into You and the Night and the music. Because when Bach, jazz, You and the Night and the music, that's just about how close Bach is to jazz.
Across the country and around the world, musicians who play Bach have been preparing for tomorrow's anniversary. The Minnesota Orchestra will devote a special program to him.
Bach has achieved one of the greatest things in our civilization. It's like a cathedral. It's profound. It's something which will never age.
Lovers don't have to understand the technical genius of his music. They just listen to its grace, balance, and clarity. That is why the greatest composer of the early 18th century is still one of the most popular of the late 20th. Garrick Utley, NBC News.
Celebrated today as one of the most gifted composers and musicians the world has ever known. And after 3 centuries, he is still hailed the world over for his skills, his styles, even his sense of humor. Manhattan's Morningside Heights, where Josephine Monjardo sings the Coffee Cantata, a song by Bach about a woman addicted to caffeine. From the time he was a teenager until shortly before he died in 1750, Bach played and wrote prolifically. In his own time, he was known more as a musician than a composer. But 300 years later, he is best remembered for leaving the world more than 3,000 different compositions.
He went all the way. And I'm not only speaking of his having had 20 children, but that he wasn't satisfied just to write a couple of preludes and fugues for his students. He had to write 24, one in every key.
We know him, of course, as one of the greatest classical composers of all time. But his influence has gone far beyond the classics.
A society without Bach is a sick society.
That was an unusual pronouncement.
It was, and I